I'm gonna make this one quick. I'll give a couple minutes. Do I use BBC or do I use the other NPR? Oh, the NPR. I'm gonna send this, I'm gonna pin it. The deportation of Kilmar Abrego Garcia is all the proof you need. There's not going to be another election. You will not vote these fascists out if we survive until 2026, 2028. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. They will not be voted out at all. This is all the proof you need. Because here's the thing. Garcia shows that your checks and balances are gone. It doesn't matter what Congress says. Because what if Congress does vote to impeach Donald Trump? So what if Congress, let's say, the Republicans have a change of heart, the scales fall from their eyes, and the Republicans vote to impeach Donald Trump, and then what? Donald Trump says, I am Commander-in-Chief of the U.S. military and I will not step down. Or J.D. Vance says, this is the new American Revolution, it will be bloodless if the left lets it.
That we are in the process of the Second American Revolution, which will remain bloodless if the left allows it to be.
Too bad we're not stepping down. Right? So impeachment's not going to happen. If the Supreme Court of the United States, look at the Kilmar Abrego Garcia. The Supreme Court said, outright, blatantly, 9-0, this was a unanimous decision from this Supreme Court, with its 6 and 5 openly Nazis, and then you got the other guy, what the fuck his name is, can't think of his name right now. Chief Justice Roberts, who, you know, is a conservative, but sometimes he gives the really, really obvious arguments and he bends to that, right? That was the, you know, that was the 5-4 that gave you the case of the gay marriage, from 10 years ago, the start of an O, gave you that case and didn't give you the gay wedding cake, LGBTQ rights. So didn't ensure a right to protection from discrimination from bakeries that don't want to make cakes for gay couples. So let's look at what happened with Garcia. The Supreme Court 9-0 said that Garcia needs to be returned immediately, and that what did the federal government do? It said no. It just said outright. They outright said no. And J.D. Vance even quoted an Andrew Jackson quote of, well, the Chief Justice gave his order, let him enforce it. You know, and J.D. Vance smugly said that Garcia was never coming back here, had no place in this country. Said that Garcia, a man who was legally here, would not stay. This is while, what's the guy's name? Stephen Miller? Yeah, Stephen Miller. Stephen Miller says that your status will not protect you. Broadcast the entire immigrant population here, the legal immigrants, that they are not safe just because they are here legally. I'm back. I was dropping frames like crazy because my VPN was set up weirdly. So, this is a decision in the Supreme Court. Clearly says, return this guy home. This specific person. And the government says no. Then Democrats go out to the prison in which they openly declare that people who come in are never coming back. And the Democrats, they get there. They're not even allowed in. Then they're finally allowed to talk to the guy. And El Salvador does this whole production thing and like tries to make the argument, oh, look, he's having margaritas. He's, you know, Garcia, look, it's water with a cherry in it. So it's like a margarita. He's having a great time here at the prison that they said people will never return from. CSOT, the Infinite Detention Center. Garcia finally gets allowed back in the U.S. Welcomed home. And you know what happens? On August 25th, 2025, they deport him again. They seize him at his hearing. At a hearing again. ICE comes into the hearing, to the court, interrupts the court proceeding, grabs this guy. There's no consequence for the ICE agents. There's no consequence for the federal government. Now, if they do that, what won't they do? What are we waiting for? What do we have to lose? What are we living here for? Every day I wake up and we go through the same scenario. And there's people who say, oh, we've just gotta, like... By the way, federal forces occupying Los Angeles, occupying DC, supposedly gonna occupy Chicago now? We're just supposed to fucking go through with this? What is everyone else waiting here for? I've been screaming like this shit for... How long? 9.5 months? I've been screaming for 9.5 months about this exact shit. And you still have people going to work. You still have people going to college. College for what? What are you gonna work for? What's that degree for? What are you gonna use your degree for? You're gonna get put in a... You're gonna get put on the forced labor farms. Or deported to fucking not deported, to imprisoned in foreign prison in El Salvador. You're not gonna need your degree to chop wood in the work will set you free American labor camp. I get mad at that point. What the fuck are people... If your excuse for why you're not fighting back right now, why you're ignoring this, is because you have to focus at university. University? To do what? You're studying for a degree? In what? In complacency? In complacency? You're gonna get a job and you think you're gonna use your degree in whatever it is, biology, engineering, whatever you're studying, philosophy, literature, American history. If you're studying American history right now, history is being made. You should be out on the street fighting. Fuck that degree. Fuck that degree. It's not gonna do shit for you. By the way, college degrees aren't doing anything for anyone. So right now, at the very least, I want to see the college population out on the streets, rallying, burning shit down, breaking windows. Like, what's the alternative? You sit around and wait for them to come to you? Did we not all listen to that, hear that Holocaust poem? Did we not read it? Did we not hear it read aloud in school? Did we never touch on this? Am I the only person who actually studied the Holocaust? Who actually looked up documentaries on the Holocaust? I can believe I'm the only person that watches documentaries on the Holocaust in my sphere. But, like, are we all just gonna sit around and let this happen? Can you look up the poem right now, read it out loud, and tell me why you aren't doing anything? Just tell me how that's gonna go for you. What are you waiting for? The fact that there's a Trump 2 proves that the whole sit by and wait and twiddle your thumbs isn't gonna work. Yeah, I believe that too. I coped hard for Kamala Harris. I was fucking believing that she was gonna do shit that she didn't say, because I just wanted to believe that this country's gonna fix itself, because I wanted to believe I didn't have to do this and be screaming for 9.5 months. I really didn't think I'd be screaming for 9.5 months. Honestly, I thought that we'd be... I looked at South Korea. I saw South Korea and figured that's what was gonna happen here. That was gonna happen within 2.5 months of the actual inauguration. I was wrong. I was clearly wrong. Because it's August 25th and I am still out here screaming the same things every fucking day. I don't know what it's gonna take at this point. And to be fair, there's been a couple attacks on ICE facilities. We obviously had Luigi Mangione, or not him, but whoever actually did the shooting, which they took Luigi Mangione hostage for. We obviously had the shooting of Brian Thompson. That was pretty big. I thought there'd be more after that, and there were a couple of copycats, but I don't want to say copycats. I don't mean to be diminish the importance of this. Listen, it's not copycat. It's people taking up the torch. We had a couple. Mostly local CEOs that people don't really think about, but Brian Thompson was definitely the big kill. Really nice we get, like, Jeff Bezos, could we get him? He is such a fucker. Jeff Bezos, Amazon's now working with the Trump administration. You know who else? You know what else is working with the Trump administration to make it medical repository? They're making a list of everyone's medical conditions. CVS is working with the Trump administration. There's a collective project, CVS, Amazon. But right now, what I'm talking about, it doesn't even matter what the Trump administration is going to do. For all I care, they could be outwardly declaring, as they basically are, that they want to... I mean, they already declared they're going to put homeless people and mentally ill people, by whatever their definition is, in permanent detention. Like, we already had involuntary commitment of people who didn't even commit a crime. We already had that, and we still have that. And the Trump administration is saying they're going to use that. Like, at this point, what could the Trump administration say? They could announce that they're going to nuke the town that people live in, and you'd have people on the streets with signs. I don't think there's anything that the Trump administration could do that would actually get a reaction from these people. And what's worse than that is that I know that the Trump administration knows that too. Trump and the Republican Party, we should say that too, because every single Republican is a part of this, undoubtedly. Many Democrats also keeping government funded, like Chuck Schumer, fucking traitor that he is. Damn that man. And by the way, Chuck Schumer, listen, if you have conservative friends, I don't know how anyone who's listens to me would have conservative friends, unless you're just listening to me ironically. Cool. Tell your conservative friends to shoot Chuck Schumer. Kill that fucking man. Give the conservatives in your life whatever push they need to shoot Chuck Schumer. He needs to die. Gavin Newsom, he needs to fucking die. I think Gavin Newsom's making enough of a stir that someone's gonna put a bullet through his head soon. I don't want to forget Chuck Schumer, though. Kill that man. Nancy Pelosi, kill that man. But definitely Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi and Gavin Newsom. Anyone else? Any other old guard Dems that you can convince a conservative to shoot? Do it. But as it pertains to the Republican Party, look, you have Peter Thiel openly talking about making a Spynet. There's flock cameras, like a flock of birds, flock cameras going up in every single... Texas is talking about putting them in place, and they're probably going to be in every single state too. Trump's rallying up 1,700 National Guards troops from all sorts of different states just to occupy cities at whim, and then you have people who are genuinely arguing that, like, oh, that's fear-mongering to talk about. Fellas, he just did an armed occupation of LA and DC. People were hurt. Like, you can't be like, oh, there's just a photo op thing. There were citizens who were brutalized, who were attacked by these armed forces in DC and LA. So before you go on about how they don't want to be here either, yes, they fucking do. Or at the very least, they're not breaking their orders. These are not our friends. Do not buy coffee and cold water for the National Guard's troops. Scream insults at them and tell them to fuck off. And be fully prepared to get shot when you do so. I'm gonna say this again, and then I'm probably gonna end, because I don't have very much to say other than we need to be prepared to die to fight this. You will die. Because the alternative is they kill all of us. This is the entire premise of that poem. First they came for the communists, and I did not do anything because I was not a communist. Then they came for the socialists, and I did not do anything because I was not a socialist. Then they came for the Jews, and I did not do anything because I was not a Jew. Then they came for the labor unionists, and I did not do anything because I was not a labor unionist. And then they came for me, and there was no one left to stand up for me. That is the poem. I am, like, begging you to just start doing some shit. It doesn't even have to be a coordinated plan. If you have one, great. By all means, keep working. I'm not discouraging you from that. You are the choir I am preaching to. But for everyone else, listen, I take a brick and just throw it through a fucking window. At this point, to attack the DNC, attack the RNC, attack your government building, whatever it is, take an Uber over to your local mayor mansion and just start breaking shit. Find the police station, throw a brick through them and run away. Dress in black bloc and just start doing shit. What do we have to lose? At the very least, you can say you fought back. At the very least, you can get maybe shot, maybe arrested, fighting against fascism, as opposed to getting maybe shot, maybe arrested for being homeless or looking homeless. At the very least, you can fight back. And that's my message for today. Thank you.